Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 157, I think, of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, aka the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. If you are married and you still play fantasy football, you deserve to get cheated on. That is the statement. I am not going to backtrack from it because I believe in it. Unless you're larger than me and are threatening me with violence, then of course I'll backtrack and take that statement. I will ask for forgiveness because although I believe in the statement, I believe in my face even more, and I do not want to get disfigured with somebody's fist and have a crooked nose, because there's one thing we know. It's that both sexes, males and females, are attracted to symmetry. Science taught me that. But enough about that. I do believe in that statement. If you're over the age of 30 and you're married, and you still do fantasy football, you deserve to get cheated on. You deserve to have your wife ask and demand a divorce from you because you're still a child. You're still a child. And if I was a judge, right, and I'm not a judge, I took one law course at the University of Connecticut as an undergrad, early or mid 2000s. I got a C in it. I passed, but barely. And there was a point in my life, the B-Man's life, where I thought maybe I'll be a lawyer. It's kind of fun. I like those law shows on TV. I thought maybe I'll be a judge. You don't have to dress up. It's similar to being a nurse. The nurses wear the scrubs. The judge wears a cloak. You can wear basketball shorts underneath it. It's a cool gig. You get the judge. You get to dictate people's lives with sentencing. Like that's kind of fun, but I don't have my mind, although it works in mysterious ways. It's not. I don't have a mind that excels at retention. I read something, I forget it 2 weeks later if it lasts that long. So it's tough to be a lawyer and or judge when you're not able to retain facts and dates and names. That's very important in that field. That's why I do stand-up. That's why I do smut. I'm a visual learner. But if I was a judge, back to your statement. Back to your statement, B-Man. Yeah, if I was a judge and the wife or the soon-to-be ex-wife tell me, hey, why are you divorcing your husband? Did he cheat on you? Did domestic violence? Like, what was the deal? Verbal abuse? No. Not him and his boys. That was for his work friends or his friends from high school or college. They leave me with the 3 kids in the middle of August to go to an Airbnb in Atlantic City to do a fantasy NFL team with all his friends, and they get the laptops, and he doesn't answer the phone when I give him the SOS text because a little Olivia like shit her pants and we don't have diapers and we need to go to the doctor and I forgot, and you have the insurance card but you weren't answering the phone because you were doing a snake draft and you were up next. You were on the clock. So you avoided your responsibilities as a husband, as a father, because you have to get who's an NFL player. Help the B-Man out. Who's an NFL player? Think of the Giants. That is your team. Oh, you need to get Joe Burrow. What a basic NFL player I just picked her. Yeah, you got to pick Joe Burrow as your QB, and you got to get that. And then like, as a judge, I go, absolutely. That is ridiculous. He left you with the kids for 3 days. Like it's not one night. Right, playing poker at his friend's house. He took money out of your joint bank account. The money that you're saving for your kids' education. He took some of that to go rent an Airbnb in Atlantic City and a $400 flight. And they got to get a keg. Of course, you got to get a keg. And you had to pay extra for Wi-Fi because everyone has to have their laptops and their devices and iPad and all that shit. Yeah, if I was a judge, all you got to do is tell me my husband does fantasy football and he left me for a weekend. And tell me no more. Tell the B-Man, Judge B-Man, no more. You win. You get everything you want. You want the house. You want alimony. You want child support. You want a monthly allowance. You want your soon-to-be ex-husband to have to pay for the nanny. You want him to pay for all the insurances. You get the cars, you get his 401k, you get to bleed him dry. The B-Man sides with you 100%. Whatever you want, I'm giving it to you and 10% more. And I'm going out to the parking lot and I'm slashing your soon-to-be ex-husband's tires because fantasy football, grow the fuck up. You're 30 years old and you're doing fantasy football. You're going on ESPN and Yahoo and fucking Reddit forums to figure out who to draft in the third round. You're looking at the injury reports. Like, who's your state representative? Can you tell me your state representative? You probably don't know, but you probably know the health history of Joe Burrow and whether his wrist is fully recovered this season or not. Am I being a bit of a hypocrite? Like chastising men for playing fantasy football when I collect baseball cards? Yeah, I know I'm being a bit hypocritical, but this is a smut humor podcast. What, you want facts? You want morality? You're not getting that here. But I am angry. I'm not angry. I'm just so frustrated. Like, guys, like, I don't really like the libtards. But like, I'll fuck with them with some things. I know there are a lot the coastal elites who kind of despise and just have an angst for the Americans who drink Busch Light and spend their Sundays watching football 12 hours a day, and they know all the facts, and they do fantasy football, and they know nothing else about society because all they care about is the group text, getting the laughter, and getting that trophy at the end of the season, and weaving it into every conversation between mid-August and early February. Like, I fuck with the libtards that are kind of to just kind of scoff at the all-American Americans with beer bellies who engage in this ritual that is fantasy football. I fuck with the libtards who kind of like look down, look at the men. The little boys who do fantasy football, they look at them as subhuman. I kind of do as well. Although most of my friends do fantasy football, and they're just fun guys. But yeah, the fantasy football, the sports betting, the prop betting, just grow up. How about instead of watching football 12 hours on a Sunday, how about you spend it with your family? How about you go to the park with your kids? That says the guy with no kids, no wife, no family, no prospects. It's real easy. It's real easy to talk shit when you're a loner like the B-Man without no loving in his life. But I'll watch football. Don't get the B-Man wrong. I will watch football. I cannot wait for opening night or opening afternoon. Giants Redskins, I believe, is their first game of the year. But I watch one game. Like, I'm on East Coast, so I will not watch like the 4:30 and the Sunday night game. I'll watch one of those time slots. I ain't watching all three. I got too many videos. I got too much stand-up comedy. I got too many of my own projects to be watching some hot, sweaty, muscular, a 24-year-old man run up and down a field. Although I enjoy that, and it is kind of homoerotic, I just like it because I like sports. Nothing to do with the homo rock. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Thank you, Jerry Seinfeld. But you're wasting your life. You're wasting your marriage. You're wasting your family if you engage in fantasy football. And that's why you deserve to get cheated on and have your heart ripped out if you play fantasy football. Moving along. All right, this comes from the subreddit Slow Living. Do people just hang out? Question mark. Well, why don't you do fantasy football? Do. Okay. When I ask friends to come over for snacks or just to sit by the pool, I will typically get a counter offer for an activity that often costs money or involves traveling, like a road trip, a restaurant, or concert. Does anyone else notice this, and how do you deal with it? Maybe I'm just a boring person. Smiley emoji. Edit. So yesterday, a friend asked me to join her for a concert in NYC, that is New York City. Plane tickets, hotel room for 2 nights, and concert tickets. I can't even. Frown emoji typed out. Now you're somebody I will fuck with. The B-Man, I fuck with you. I agree with everything you said. And I if there's anything to take away from this project that we call Verbal Graffiti, is that you should try your darndest, try your hardest to downsize your friend groups. Friends are overrated. Friends, they cause anxiety. They take away your freedom. So you should do everything within your power to excommunicate all these friends that are trying to one-up you and make you pay money to interact with your friend. So it's same thing with fantasy football. Now, with the fellas, with the boy toys, with their fantasy football, let's go rent an Airbnb. Yeah, we all live in one state, but let's go rent an Airbnb 5 states from here. Same thing. You got to spend $300 on a plane ticket. The Airbnb, it's an entire weekend. You got to get the beer. You got to get the burgers. You got to get the seasoning. You got to get the rolls. You got to get the hot dogs. You got to get the stripper. It's an ordeal. When you can really just go to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Tuesday night, a couple pitchers of beer, couple shots of tequila, and bang out your draft in 2 hours. I digress. Stop thinking about fantasy football, B-Man. I've never played fantasy football. Just hand up. I'm very proud. I'm almost an anomaly. I am a sports bro. American, beautiful blue eyes. And I've never done fantasy football. That's a rarity. That is a rarity. That's a diamond. That's a diamond in the rough here in America. But to your point, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous that it isn't. This is a problem with friendships and relationships as well. But in this instance, we're talking about friendship. Like your friends. I get it. You're working overtime all week, because you got to make that extra money because we're all a slave to the dollar bill that keeps getting devalued by the Fed. All right, that's another topic. Stay focused, B-Man. My mind's rambling. I worked overtime today. But yeah, you work overtime all week. And then the client insists that you get it done by a certain date. So you're working overtime all week. You're only surviving off of coffee, espressos, and granola bars. You're sleep deprived. You haven't seen the sun. You're in office. You've been on your screen all week, and then Saturday afternoon, you have that window of freedom, of free time, and all week you're looking forward to that afternoon by your apartment pool with maybe a cocktail, maybe some guac and chips, and you're looking forward to that all week. And then Thursday, Friday, you text your friend, say, "Hey, come by the apartment complex." Saturday afternoon, we'll have guac, we'll have some Surfside green teas. We'll gossip, or we'll listen to some music, get a dip in the pool, maybe talk with some of the Chads that are there as well. And then your friend is like, no, let's go out. Why drink a case of Surfside iced teas and get a buzz for under $20? Poolside, being able to wear a bikini. Why do that? When we could go to a restaurant and spend $14 a pop for every espresso martini. We'll get the same guac and chips, but it will cost $22. And then we won't be able to hear each other talk to each other because the music is so loud because some asshole put $50 into the tune booth and he's playing he's playing his high school favorite songs for the next 45 minutes, and then the waiter or waitress, she doesn't pay you any attention because you're not 23 and attractive anymore, so he's never coming by and refilling your water or asking you if you want entree with those guac and chips that you'll order, and the chips are they're not as chippy as you would like them to be. They're a little soggy because they're just a little stale because who's stupid enough to go to a restaurant on a Saturday afternoon when it's lovely, 85, low humidity, when you can be by a pool? But no, your friend brings you out. And while you two are trying to have a conversation, reconnect, gossip about your boyfriends, your spouses, your kids, your work, your families, your church life, a creep like me comes up and tries to spit some game, tries to spit that riz to you. And then I ruin the vibe between you and your friend. And that's what your friend wants to do. And that's the type of friend you need to eliminate from your life. Because like you said, why go through all that hassle of going to that restaurant when you're going to sit by your pool, on a pool chair, get a tan, and drink a cocktail or a snack for a fraction of the price without any of the noise or frustrations or the money that comes with restaurants. So yes, what I'm saying is eliminate your friend, add me. I'll be your friend. I will be your friend. Will I try to slip my hand down your bikini bottom? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. But if we can get past that, I'm a great hang by a pool. Just supply the Busch Light and the Doritos, and I'm good. All right, I'm good. And I won't make you fly to New York City, NYC, to go see a concert. Fuck that. Fuck that. I will never pay money to go to a concert. I'll tell you right now. Monday night, I went out to do some filming and do an open mic, and I was by a church, so it was nighttime, but dusk. And they had lighting, and they had a little stage in front of the church, and it just was not like gospel music. It was an open mic, and local musicians were playing. Some were god-awful, but some were really talented. They really knew how to strum that acoustic guitar, and it was free. So I got free entertainment on a Monday night, while your asshole friend is trying to make you commit to a trip to New York City and spend, how much are concert tickets now? Like $300? $300 to go to a concert. Or what is the B-man or you going to do at a concert? We're going to stand in the upper deck. Right? The upper deck, the nosebleeds. We're paying $300 to watch the band on the screen because we're so far away that we can't see the stage. So we're watching the TV for $300. And I don't know what to do at a concert. I sway back and forth. I mumble the words because I can't remember the lyrics. I pretend not to notice the babe beside me who's getting finger popped by her Chad of a boyfriend. And then I'm just stuck there going, what am I supposed to do here? It's why I do stand-up comedy, because I like to be on the stage. I don't like to be the audience members who kind of get in their head, because that's when I'm an audience member, I get in my head. So I'm not paying $300 for a ticket just to stand awkwardly half a mile away from where the stage is at, because I can't afford first row seats, because this project is not successful yet. But this ain't about me. It's just I'm using myself as an example for you, to let you know there are friends out there that you can attain that will not try to drain your bank account and your time. I would never try to one-up you. Honestly, I feel this is more of a babe thing than a guy thing. Although there is like the guys, yeah, they'll do the fantasy draft and they'll maybe like a bachelor party away for a weekend. But more often than not, the guys, like we're okay with just let's just go to a local bar, watch a game, have a bite to eat, or we'll hang out at somebody's house on a Saturday or Sunday and watch football or sports. I think most guys fall into that realm. I think it's more the female gender that is all about let's fly to a different state to watch a concert. Let's go to a high-end restaurant. That's going out to restaurants, like that's for women, for the babes, that's a hobby. All right, that's a hobby. For most men, it's like that's an event that they need to be pushed by their significant other into doing, just so they can occasionally get sex. But yeah, you need to relieve yourself of all your friends, become friends with the B-Man, and just supply the Busch Light, the Doritos, fuck the concert. I'll bring a Bluetooth speaker. We'll listen to that band for free by your pool, and we'll have a lovely friendship, free of charge. Let's go. Actually, I met a man last week. I want to introduce it to him. He's a huge fan of Verbal Graffiti, and he's now doing some advertising for us. So thank you very much. And he's got a word. He's got something he's got to tell all of us.
Verbal Graffiti every Monday and Tuesday.
Thursday.
I am wrong. I'm not a criminal. I am not a convicted criminal, that is. But I do need to make I made a clerical error that I need to correct. This is not episode 157. No, it is not. It is episode 158. Now, segment 2 of episode 158. I need to learn how to speak and not yell, not speak so loudly that spit comes out of my mouth, because I was exhausted after that first segment. My head is lightheaded because I was pronunciating my words with such emotion that I lost oxygen in my brain, and my voice, I think my voice cracked. It just cracked right there because of how much I was yelling in that first segment. Your voice should not crack more than once a month. As a 41-year-old, I believe my voice has cracked a minimum. I put the over and under at 3.5 times already, and we're only halfway through this episode 158 of Verbal Graffiti. I am awake. I woke up this morning, went to the bathroom, and I was brushing my teeth, popped a stiffy. I used that stiffy to open up the shower curtain. Whoa. I was able to open it up all the way. That was the only bright part of my day. I worked overtime because I'm a slave. I want the money. So I can buy baseball cards. This camera that I'm filming myself on, I have to pay insurance for this. I have, in case someone robs me. We all have bills, right? But that's not funny. That this day, I'm tired. I think that's why I'm trying to overcompensate my tiredness, my drowsiness by yelling and trying to be more emotive than I usually am, to try to camouflage the bagginess under my eyes. So we're just gonna try to be calm this segment. But as I look at myself in the camera, what is this? This shirt is so generic. This is a very like, oh yeah, just a middle-aged man, or heck, even a guy in his 20s or a teenager. You're going to high school, sophomore year. Your mother tells you, you gotta dress better. It's the first day of school. So you go to the closet And you take this out. It says nothing about you. Oh, but it has stripes, a white and like pink reddish stripes. If you're listening to the podcast, and it's got a collar. So as a man, like that's what men think. Like, oh, there's stripes and there's a collar and there's a little condom pocket right here. That's dress up. That's first day of school. That is a photo day. The day where the camera, they take your yearly yearbook photo. I'm not sure if they still do that, but this shirt is so myopic. That's what it is. That word, that new word I learned from last. It's just a myopic. It says nothing about me. You see this shirt. Like an elementary school student wearing this shirt, and immediately, like as an adult, you would think, oh, his mom dressed him, trying to, not letting him wear a Ninja Turtles t-shirt or a Pokemon t-shirt for the 7th day in a row. But when an adult wears this shirt, or a shirt like this with a striped collared shirt, you're just a basic. You're just not basic bitch. You're just a bro. You're just a basic bro. You went to a public university. You graduated with a 3.1 GPA. You have insurance, but you still have to pay an outrageous price for your copay. You're hot. You do fantasy football. You drink beer. You talk about whiskey like you actually know what it is you're drinking. Maybe you golf, but you gotta line it up from the middle tee. You're not doing the tee furthest away. You have jokes, but you ain't funny. You imagine me. Like, I've actually gone on stage wearing this shirt. How can you respect a stand-up comedian? Or how can you... Like, this just dilutes anything I say. Like, if you're an audience member and you see a comedian wearing a shirt like this, like, I can't. Like, this guy's too normy. Too normy to be... To make a statement that's profound, that makes me giggle out loud. Like this shirt is just this is a shirt your husband wears. I don't know why I'm talking so much about like marriage for a guy who's not married, but this is like whatever. Your man wears this shirt out, and he's been wearing a shirt like this for the last 4 years. That it frustrates you so much where you wanna ask for a divorce. You want the man to divorce. Like you don't, because he's a good man, because he wears a shirt like this. It's like a guy who wears a shirt like this cares about his appearance and cares about his loved ones, but puts no thought into his appearance or who he is as an individual at his core. And that's why his babe is no longer in love with him. Because you see this, and you just see right through it. Like oh yeah, like I'm with this person, but he's wearing a striped shirt with a collar. I mean, how more basic can you be? Let's go down to the Gap. I'll make out with one of the mannequins there. That's who you are. You're a mannequin. So I wear a shirt. Like I want to throw this shirt out. It feels comfortable on me, but it just. I can't believe it. The only reason why I wore this shirt, because I wore it last night and it was hot out last night, so it kind of smells. I have smelly armpits, so I'm going to put it in the wash, but I'm in the studio alone, so it doesn't matter that it smells because I'm the only one, intaking the smelly pits from last night that are woven into this basic striped shirt. There's nothing, there's no pizzazz, there's no riz, there's no charisma to this shirt. Like I go up to you wearing this shirt as a stranger trying to spit game. You see this? Like, you know who I am. You know who I am. Yeah, I'm not gonna pop a wheelie on a motorcycle with you like holding my waist, behind me. I saw that last night. And you know what that guy wasn't wearing? This. this. He had a black. He was wearing black. He was, he had some mystery. There's mystery to him. There's nothing mysterious about this. The only thing it hides is the chest or the hair on my chest. So I'm failing you this episode. I don't know what number it is. I'm not dressed appropriately. I'm not coming with the right charisma. I'm lightheaded. Let's get into the next segment. All right, this comes from the subreddit Rich, not the person, the money Rich. Folks who sit on boards of directors, please weigh in. Did not know where else to post this, but thinking it will be applicable here. I sit on a few boards, and one of them is just kind of a mess. The bylaws are even a mess, so please don't respond. What do the bylaws say about this? Long story short, the president of the board just kind of runs the show and makes unilateral decisions without asking for a vote, etc. The most egregious instance happened last week when he asked someone to join the board who is a known liar and a pot stirrer. I believe wholeheartedly it's the mission of this board and the charitable organization it represents. But I am not sure I can stand by while the person joins and stirs the pot. Is it your experience that new members are asked to join without a vote? Please weigh in. That is not my experience, although I've never been on a board of directors, no. I've never had a Verbal Graffiti. We don't have a board of directors. It's just you, 7 or 8 viewers, 45 subscribers. Thank you very much on YouTube, and me. And sometimes some doggies walking around the studio and on my lap. No, I assume if you're gonna just say, be the sports bro that I am, if there's gonna be a new board of directors or like a new board member, that there would need to be a vote to accept or deny the new board member coming aboard. So my advice to you: quit the board. Like you said yourself, that the president makes all the decisions unilaterally, so that you're literally telling us your position on the board does not matter. You have no input in the decisions that are being made for this corporation that you're on the board of. So quit. What else is there to do? Like this new board, while you're having a panic attack on Reddit, the president and this new board member that's going to be on the team, they're out at a restaurant formulating new ways to implement their new world order for life, and you ain't part of it. So quit. Like the whole. I'm gonna break it to you, and I'm gonna do it gladly. So, like, your position does not matter, and it's not just you; it's everybody on every board of directors. That is a fake job. That is a fake position. That is a con job that corporations impart on us to make us think that the board of directors are needed for economic growth within the corporation and the entire economy. It's all bullshit. Like I've watched Succession on HBO. I've watched Industry on HBO. I've watched Too Big to Fail. So I have a pretty good grasp of what it is to be in the room, the presidential suite, the top level, around the table with the board of directors. And it's fugazi. It's fake. It's the only reason to be on the board of directors of any corporation or entity is to use your title as board member to launder money or to get some type of kickback. And if you're not getting either of those two, you're wasting your time. You're wasting the position. Better to have a shit stirrer like in your position to actually use the position to get some money or some kickbacks or some tax breaks or whatever the fuck it is they're doing up there, above all of us plebs on the, the 51st floor of the Hightower building. But I've watched Succession, right? Like, I watched Too Big to Fail. Like, watching those TV shows and movies, I know that to be a successful board member, like, you need to be a liar. You need to be malevolent. You need to be, I don't know the word. Okay. You need to be a liar. You need to be willing to stir the pot, right? Be a shit stirrer. Like this new guy that the president wants to bring aboard, he seems like he's going to do a much better job on that board than you're currently doing. Because that's what he likes to do. He likes to lie. He likes to, stir the shit. And those are the characteristics you need to have to be a successful board member. And clearly you do not have those. You have a moral compass. And that is not what is wanted for everybody, around. To be the head of the table, you cannot have a morals, ethics. You can't have that. Fiduciary responsibility. You can't have any of those things that keep you out of prison. Those characteristics, those are not wanted nor needed. At the table with all the board of directors and president. So, yeah, quit. You're clearly not a good board member anyway, so quit. Or you could, maybe if you really believe in whatever this corporation, charity, whatever their vision is, if you really believe in all that bullshit, grease up your elbows, watch a few seasons of Big Brother, right? Learn how to manipulate, connive, get people on your side. Like, learn the game. Learn the game of manipulation by watching seasons of Big Brother and Survivor, and then try to cause an insurrection in the board of directors and get everybody on your side to do a veto vote against the president and oust his ass and insert yourself as the president to stop the new member from coming aboard. So so either quit, learn how to be a manipulator and get the votes on your side, or just start your own 503, what's it, 503c charity. Get a bunch of donations, sponsorships, get a lawyer, take all the money you get, give 5% of it to whatever the cause you're telling the public you're using the cause, or whatever the charity is. Then take all the other funding and give yourself and every other executive a 6-figure salary. Because that is what 503Cs are for here in America. It's to pay the executives that you're a part of 6 figures. That's how we dance here in America. And if you're not willing to do that or be part of that, then take your ethical ass to the library and become a librarian. Because here, the executives, the big boys, the big gals at the table, we're conniving. We're getting money. We're laundering it. We're cleaning that money out. We're taking it from the little plebs. Quit. It's a fake job. You said yourself, you're on several board of directors. If this was a real position that it really took time and mental energy, that you wouldn't be able to be on several board memberships. You'd only be able to be on one. That clearly shows me that what you're doing is nothing. So you're just on this board of directors to stroke your ego. You don't need to stroke it. Right? Enough with your ego. Quit and move on with your life. Go suck a fat one.